I threw in Deca um, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. I threw in Deca. I had no acne, maybe the
Mhm.
occasional pimple. I threw in Deca, and dude, immediately I broke out. And then he was doing his videos, he was on top of his YouTube. And then I remember
Mhm.
watching you because you actually got me into like the whole SARMs, because back then you were like a big, your channel
Right.
was, you had a SARMs channel. You had a,
It
like you
was
were
this
doing
channel actually.
yeah, and you just switched it
Yeah.
over. Yeah, you were
Yep.
doing like the SARMs review. I remember being in my fucking college dorm room when I used to go to school, and I would like lay in bed and I would be watching you and like guys like Russo, like, and you guys are the ones who fucking got me into the dark side. Like, I
Ah,
started with
fuck.
SARMs.
We're the
Yeah,
ones that got you down the dark path.
yeah,
Shit. So I guess that kind of jumps into, bro, like for the people watching, like what are you on right now? Or like what's your goal, I guess? Like
yeah.
stepping
So
on stage or
no, I mean, I'm actually thinking about doing a show in October here in Houston, just because it's like, and a lot of people have been telling me it's not even just to win. It's honestly just so I have a date, right? And that it's
Mhm.
like I got to be accountable and I got to look a certain way at this date. Because right now I'm kind of just I'm cutting, but I'm like I'm not really, I don't have a show. I'm just cutting.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to look good. But like if I had a show date, it might be a little bit more motivation for me to actually dial it the fuck in every single day. Because some days I'm like, whatever, I'll do this and do that. But rather than like if you have a show, like you have to be like, you can't step on stage looking like shit. It's like
Right.
it makes it official, right? Like you have
Mhm.
to be shredded at this certain date. So I was thinking about doing a show, but I don't know if I will, just because I mean obviously it's great content to like prep for a show and everything like that, but I don't know if I ever will. Or I
I mean,
definitely
it,
will,
it
but
could go hand
not
in
this
hand with
year.
the everyday vlog, what you kind of just started doing. That could be
Yeah.
like a good, or
But
I
then
know you're an
like
alpha elite,
yeah.
so because isn't Christian's probably summer shredding or something
Yeah,
coming
that's
up?
what it is. It's summer shred. So
Oh, is that
there's
going to be the competition?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's two competitions, summer shredding. There's one in June, and then that one I definitely won't be ready for. But there's one in October, and October is like a pretty good while away. So I might do the October one. I mean, somebody mentioned it to me, and I was like, hey, maybe I do that, but I don't think I will, honestly. But I'm really trying to just right now. I'm just trying to look good. I'm just trying
Hmm.
to look good. Like I'm not really trying to be the biggest guy, but I'm just trying to like have abs, look good, be lean, and then at the same time hold a decent amount of muscle. And so right now I'm on 300 milligrams of test, and then I have 100 milligrams of tren, and
Hmm.
then I just started today actually 20 micrograms of clen. And I know you fucking hate clen. We talked about that one time
I
over
mean, I
DM.
do, but I see its purpose.
Yeah,
Like I get why people take it.
yeah. So I'm on 20 micrograms of clen, and then I'll take cardarine like every day. I do cardio every other day, so I'll take cardarine before my cardio, and like it just totally, it's like here's my cardio without it, and here's my cardio with it. It's just a lot
Right.
easier with
It's just a
cardarine.
night and day difference.
Yeah.
That's just
So
crazy.
that's
I was actually talking to Tony on the last podcast about 100 milligrams of tren actually, and he was talking about doing that just for like overall therapeutic like benefits,
yeah.
mental wise and everything. Kind of as almost like a nootropic, along with also like the benefit of taking tren, and then you don't like encounter all the side effects and all
Yeah, I
that.
mean, dude, I broke out a little bit. I mean, I deal with acne. Like acne is my number one side effect. So I'm on Accutane right now. They got me on 90 milligrams, which is just I know it's just
Hmm.
fucking destroying my liver. But I'm on Tudca, I'm on NAC. I'm trying to keep my liver healthy. I get my bloods done. So like everything right now, like my liver enzymes are a little bit high. So I want to be careful with the trend, because I do know somebody who was just on trend and test. Not too much either, and he got jaundice. Like his
Oh,
eyes were
really?
yellow, dude, totally skin yellow, just got fucked up, and
Damn.
he was out of the gym for like 2 months. So that's definitely something that I want to avoid.
Do you
But
have like, is it kind of like night and day difference when
with
you're,
trend,
yeah, like when you hop on cycle, does like your acne just like spike like
well,
crazy?
it's so I mean, Derek, right?
Yeah.
More plates, more dates. So him and I
Hmm.
were talking. We think it's just 19 Nors, because there were points where I was running like 500 milligrams of test with zero side effects, maybe a little puffy nips. But then when I threw in Deca, um, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. I threw in Deca. I had no acne, maybe the
Hmm.
occasional pimple. I threw in Deca, and dude, immediately I broke out really bad. And then I thought it was manageable. So I upped it, and I was at 400 milligrams of Deca, 400 milligrams of test, and that just fucked my face. It obliterated my
Hmm.
acne. It was so bad. I had to hop off. I hopped off that cycle early, and that was like my bulking cycle, man. Like that was when I was gonna put on massive. I was gonna put on fucking weight, but like I
Right.
had to stop because I just couldn't, dude. I couldn't. I was so self conscious, especially when
Hmm.
I'm in front of a camera, man. When I'm in front of a camera that's shooting 1080p, like I every single
Yeah.
day, I can't, dude. I can't. I just see it, I would get so discouraged. I didn't even want to
I
film.
probably have one like right over here. That's why I turned this way. But like, dude,
Yeah,
mine, as soon as I hop back on test or like TRT, act like it's always pimples on my nose. That's like literally it. And then gyno, that's like my biggest thing like ever since I was a teenage. You know, it just like flares
yeah.
up if I hop like on whatever. But so at least you're not
I
like I
th-
guess prone to baldness or hair loss.
I don't think
Yours
so
is
because I
probably more
am.
so the
I'm
acne.
Yeah, I'm Asian, so mostly Asian guys like, John, me, a couple of my buddies here at Alphalete who are also Asian, like that thick black hair. We don't really see too much balding, but we'll see because I want to start. I have 2 vials of Masteron here. So once I start getting in like close to single digit, if I can get to like 10%, I might toss in some Masteron to see how nutty I can look. But I don't think I'll do that anytime soon just because like with like my Accutane and stuff, and I'm already on like
Right.
400 milligrams of gear, so I don't really want to push it. But I was gonna say,
Is that why you're
a
kind
hu-
of avoiding the orals? Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, that's exactly why. I didn't
Hmm.
want to take like even Anavar. Like Anavar, pharmaceutical Anavar is like almost side effect free, right? Whatever. It's
Hmm.
like even that I think I'm literally scared because the amount of Accutane that I'm on, I just don't. I would hate to get some liver damage. But I was
Right.
gonna say 100 milligrams of Trent because Dr. Tony. So you guys were saying that 100 milligrams for just the mental, right? Nootropic idea of
Yeah,
it.
just like overall health benefit, like no drawbacks to it. That he honestly thinks, if I'm remembering right off the top of my head, that like almost everyone should be doing it just because it's like you don't have the night sweats, the insomnia, the
Alongside
trend rage.
TRT.
Just in general, he said it would be like great, like overall, just like mental boost and overall clarity. Basically, like essentially a nootropic at that point. But obviously, very low dose trend. Whereas most people are probably going to run, like 400 milligrams. I'd say probably is like standard per week trend for
Yeah.
most people. Um,
Um.
but yeah, super
Couple
low.
of couple of people. A couple of people have been telling me to start at 200. They were like, I don't know why you're on 100. You should like people really start feeling it at 200. So maybe I'll titrate up to 200 like along the line. But yeah, right now 100, dude, it has me feeling fucking good. Like
Mhm.
I think I was on, dude, I was on 200 milligrams of test is my TRT, and I was on 200 milligrams. I had low libido, and I
Mhm.
didn't realize it until I hopped on trend. And I'm as soon as I started the trend, dude, I was just 10 times more horny. And it was night and day, dude. I was 10 times more horny and like I wouldn't say I'm extra aggressive, but I'm more irritable. So I'm
Right.
slightly more irritable, which honestly is like not that much of a bad thing because it makes me more alert, It's kind of like you said, it's like a nootropic, it kind of
Right.
makes me feel good. It makes me feel aggressive. Um, and as well as I upped the test. So I was on 200 tests, 300. Now I'm on 300 alongside the 100 tests. So I don't know if that has to do with any maybe upping the test or just the 100 milligrams of Tren is doing that.
It's probably the
But I did
trend.
have,
Craig
yeah,
calls
I
it
did
a
have a
trend.
little
He
bit
calls
of,
it trendic.
yeah, I did have
Yeah.
Trendic.
Yeah. That shit's
I
wild. Like
had,
for the people that have experienced it or haven't that are watching, I mean, it's like night and day.
I almost think that I almost think that I am a hyper responder to 19 Nors.
Hmm.
Um, because like when I started my Deca, dude, when I tell you I blew up, I fucking blew up. And it wasn't on. I started at 200 milligrams, and I started making crazy gains. That's when I started to break out. So I think I could be a hyper responder to 19 Nors because even on 100 milligrams of trend, like I think I feel it like pretty good. I've been
Hmm.
making. It's like it's I don't know. It's tough to say just because I don't know what's from what. But I mean, I was getting trendic, like I couldn't get hard. Um, I would be horny, but I couldn't keep the hard on. So I had to I took a caber, like a
Oh, like the
0.25 of
you had the
caber.
like decadic.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
took 0.25 of caber. The next day I was just like perfect, ready to go, rock hard. So I think I could be a hyper responder on 19 Nors. And if that is the case, I mean, like that'd be pretty dope because then I could run like 200 trend and kind of get the effects of
Dude, I mean, I
however
know from
much.
my experience, my biggest I ever was high test, high deca, like just those two together. And then I might have had like a SARM in there at that point. It was like right after my competition, but yeah, that was like the biggest I'd ever got easily.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Dude, I was what? So it's a funny story. I was on, I would say at the time I was on 400 tests, 400 DECA, and and this was like right in the middle of my bulk because I'm just coming off a bulk. I'm cutting right now. It's right in the middle of my bulk, and I was like, dude, I was feeling so good, but I was a little soft, and which I assume is just what was water. And so this was when I had scheduled Noel to come.
Hmm.
So I was like, fuck, bro, I don't want Noel to see me all like soft and shit and chubby. So I started ripping Clen. I did a 20 one day, next day 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, then pyramid down.
Right,
So I had like 2 weeks to prepare. So I did that. And then I also was on like dandelion root extract, which is like just a natural
right for the
diuretic.
water. Yeah.
And I shaved off about 7 pounds in like 3 days. And when I tell you it's the nuttiest I've ever looked, it was just it was like I was the same leanness as I was when I started the bulk, but I had added just like 5 pounds of sheer muscle, and I looked awesome. I looked sick as fuck when Noelle was here. But then like as soon as she left, I just
Hmm.
like hopped back on the bulk.